is David Brooks, the Cadillac Counselor, just trying to reach the people. The main thing about this episode today, I have Aje Hill with me. I'll let him introduce himself in a quick second. But the main thing for today is we just want to kind of talk about what's going on with the kids, what's going on with the community, and just kind of the things, some of the gaps that we're noticing that are just not being filled. And if we don't step in and fill them, then we're going to keep getting the same results that we always have. So without any further ado, I will let Aje introduce himself and tell the people who you are, what you do, and kind of what you got going on.
First and foremost, bro, I want to thank God for giving me the pleasure to wake up this morning and being on this awesome podcast with you. I also want to thank you, bro, for everything you do for this community, man. You stepping up and being a testimony of change means the world to people like me. And you're a role model in so many ways. So I'm thankful for you calling me. Honored to be able to speak on your podcast. My name is Aje Hill. I'm the executive director of I Believe in Me, Inc. I Believe in Me, Inc. is more than just a mentor program. To me, it's a family. It's a place where I can try to encourage young men and women to not visit the dark places in life that I once experienced. Not saying that that the things that I went through haven't helped me, because they're not losses, they're lessons. But the pain, the missed time, our mentor program tries to inform and put interventions and things into these kids' lives that allow them to miss the dark places that some of us have experienced. It's a pleasure to serve this community, man. Words can't express my gratitude. It's honorable meeting ordinary people that continue to do extraordinary things for this community and our organization. So it's just a pleasure to serve, bro.
Hey, we've been, but I'll tell you guys, we've been in probably the same rooms, being in the same auditoriums, and we've been, because we were either speaking at them or getting ready to speak or just kind of just doing something, and we just always kind of bypassed each other. But, how is it for you in kind of really connecting with people in the community? What does that mean to you in your mission to carry out I Believe in Me?
And bro, that's a wonderful question, because me, myself, I used to be a menace to society. So being a member of society now, giving back, helping others, allows me to build those relationships that you're talking about. And the humble feeling in my heart that it feels to know that this community does embrace change, building these relationships. Like I can say through COVID-19, because that's what we're up against right now. But our organization has been able to develop partnerships with so many amazing businesses, i.e. Starbucks, Bimbo Bakeries, Dairy Maid, just so many organizations reaching out, trying to deliver some hope into these communities and to people in need. So building relationships, when I came home from prison, a lot of doors were not only closed, I felt like they were locked. But through action, through showing up, being consistent, and having a heart for this community, these relationships are growing and becoming endless and allow us to operate and meet our youth directly where they are. So I could never express the gratitude for the relationship building in this community.
It's funny. The thing about, I was telling you last night when we were talking, there's two different types of people in Frederick County. There's the people who grew up in Frederick County, and there's the people who are from the outside. And so when you talk about networking, especially coming out of prison, there were some people who probably read your name in newspapers and knew the old you. And then some people just didn't know of you, period, because they haven't grew up here. And so whenever the people find out that you went to prison, how does that affect that conversation? Like, how do you turn that around so that that our audience, because some of them might be coming out of probation, some of them might be coming out of legal issues. How do you turn that around so that you can then network? So how does that work for you?
First and foremost, I would encourage our people coming home from the prison or the penitentiary or tough situation to have the attitude that I can I will, I must. Because if we don't believe in ourselves, it's impossible for someone else to believe in what we're trying to create. So I tell myself constantly every day, I can, I will, I must. Coming home from prison, as you discussed, I was up against the limits. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to change. But you talk about resume. My resume wasn't full of the nicest people, the nicest things. I had a lot of criminology on my resume. So I started my mentorship program. And in my mentorship program, as our services started to grow and the needs started to become more, I was banned from the Frederick County Public Schools. I wasn't allowed on the school property. And when I went to do the investigation of why I wasn't allowed on Frederick County school property, it was because of my background, because I was a convict, because I was a liar, because I was a degenerate, because I was a felon. It was the very things that you're talking about that blocked me from doing what I wanted to do best. And that's help someone not be like me, but be better than me. But what I did, David, I didn't quit. I didn't give up. And with like 4,800 signatures from people like you and these wonderful community members, 6 months later, they overturned the decision and I was able to get back into the school and meet these kids directly where they are. So don't ever give up. Don't ever quit. If you want something, keep trying. And there's people and God that will move mountains for you. So don't think that you can't when you know that you can.
You know, I was telling you earlier, and we were talking, and I said, you know, that hustle, the word hustle, people have taken it, you know, like I remember when I played football, the coach would be like, man, hustle in. You know what I mean? When you on the basketball court, they tell you, man, hustle, you know, get to the ball. But then whenever you become adults, it's like that term then is only used in the negative, like you're hustling people or you're hustling, you know, in whatever it is, like you're selling drugs or whatever. And so for me, I love that term hustle because it just means that regardless of what looks like in your present, I got to hustle through it. And if you tell me no, I'm going to hustle around that and I'm going to find the yes. So tell me about your hustle. Tell me about your hustle game.
You hit that joint right on the head, big fella, when you say a lot of no's, like we find a way to turn them into yeses. When you go back to the lifestyle, when you go back to the streets, Poppy used to tell me all the time a price that I didn't want to pay for my product. So it was my duty to find someone else to get the number or the product that I wanted. So in this lifestyle, what I did is those old tendencies, that hard work that I used to put in to get what I want, I just changed those tendencies to what's right rather than what's wrong. So those relationships, building those relationships comes with hard work. I'm willing to put in the work. And oftentimes when the work matches the speech, then people begin to believe in what you're trying to do and put forward into this community.
It's, you know, the thing that I like about the whole I believe in me is the word believe. Because once a person believes, nothing can get in the way of that. You know what I mean? Like if I believe that I can reach that, nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to use my effort. I'm going to go get it. But whenever you don't believe in yourself, people then think that just because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to believe in you. Nobody's going to give you that job, to give you that 40 hours or to, you know, like you have this long stretch of incarcerations or legal problems. If you don't believe you change, they're not going to give you that option, you know. So how do you translate that? I know people that work with you or are they affiliated with you? How do you take that hustle and how do you hand it to the next person so that they can do it?
Oftentimes, man, you say the word believe, Dave, and I wake up in the morning every morning thankful to have air in my lungs and open these two gifts every morning being my eyes. But sometimes with life and with the things that I go through, I'll question myself. So I lay back down in the morning because I don't believe in myself at that moment. So if I don't believe in myself, how can I come into the community and expect someone else to believe in me? So it's important to wake up with the same thing, feeling with yourself that you're expecting from others. So belief is very important in every beginning of my day. And saying that to say, going to some of the dark places where I've been, I'm able to go back into some of those dark places now and try to deliver some hope. And in that hope deliverance, I was able to meet a kid by the name of Jamontrez Williams. When I met him, he was 16 years old. But I seen in his eyes a whole bunch of pain, hopeless, wondering how can I get away from what's troubling me and getting me on the beaten path that I'm supposed to be on. So it was an immediate connection because he was me. At one point, I felt that same pain. At one point, I was lost just as well as he was lost. But what built our relationship is trust and consistency and integrity. Telling him things that I was doing myself, not feeding him no gas, not telling him nothing that's invalid, or trying to build our trust. And bro, I could say through time, this kid started to come to Mr. Mike Folio's Youth for Offender program and speak to kids and change kids' lives from behind the wall. And I used to tell him when he was locked up, bro, this too shall pass. And when it does pass, I got a place for you where you're going to change some people's lives because you're a leader. Man, the kid has been home for like 7 months, bro, and oftentimes they think we can't change. Oftentimes they think we won't change. Oftentimes they just don't believe in redemption. Wow. This kid has been home. He's got a 40-hour-a-week job. He's a paid mentor. He's a father. He's a firefighter for the junior fire department. He graduated from high school. Wow. And he's a member of this community rather than a menace. So the hope that we're delivering, the hope that we're providing into the community, it's not only stretching into the kids, man. It's allowing some of the adults that follow the dark path that we made exist and deciding to get out of the dark and come into the light, man. So like I said, it's a humbling feeling, bro.
Wow. So you said, you met this kid when he was 16 and we're in the middle of the COVID right now. And there's a lot of online school. Kids aren't able to, have the, breakfast and the lunch that's normally provided in school. So how have you stepped into this gap? Especially, what are you seeing in your community when it comes to, the kids and doing online school during the COVID?
Great question, bro. Like for me, I'm a mentor first. So being a mentor, kudos to all of the organizations in our community that are standing up in the alley of food, helping these people with nutrition, helping these people in need during this tough time. But me, myself, I understand the need is greater because we have 25 to 30 students that come into an after-school program every single day. And the first thing they say is, Mr. Aje, I'm hungry. Wow. So we can't provide that turkey sandwich on the potato roll, a banana, a bag of chips, a juice, and some other type of snack. I know to get them to an educational standpoint, it's impossible. So we must have those snacks inside of the program because after the snack iteration, we are pairing our mentees up with tutors to get the schoolwork done. So I know snacks are very important. So through COVID, what we found out were we were moving into online learning. So the biggest fear of our team was, bro, we know the kids don't wake up in the morning and get orange juice. They don't get a Pop-Tart. They don't get the proper nutrition to make the brain work. Because as we know, we need food, we need nutrients, we need proteins to make our brain work. So if they're waking up in the morning to get on the online school, but they don't have the proper nutrients in their body, how are they going to learn? And if they do learn, how perceptive are they going to be to the learning? So we implemented something that we call Hope Boxes. Hope Boxes were Pop-Tarts, pecan swirls, juices, noodles, things to get the kids ready to learn. But as we was going into the community, big bro, we seen a major need. We started delivering about 15 or 20 Hope Boxes a day. And it wasn't only to the children and the families within I Believe in Me, it was to regular patrons within the community that needed some hope. So man, like you said, the word, bro, we hustle. Hustle. It's in our mentality. It's in our genes. It's in our bloodline. We want to help because oftentimes back then we did everything to hinder and hurt. So this is an opportunity to me where leaders are made. This is where we stand up and help other people. So I started to communicate with my board, communicated with pillars in this community like the United Way, the Delaplane Foundation, the Community Foundation, And I just got a enormous amount of support, and we turn Hope Boxes into 2 different food distributions where we allow patrons to come through the line and decide what they would like to have in their family. Me personally, I know what it's like to receive a bag and say, hey, you got to eat this. I know what that's like. But as a Hope dealer, I feel like meeting the population where they are, the 40 West population, the downtown population, was very important to make them feel like human beings during this crisis. So we're able to feed about 225 families on Monday and Friday in the Frederick community. And again, because of blessed partners like Stauffer Funeral Home, we're going to add another food distribution spot to the Heather Ridge location. So tomorrow we're going to have 3 food locations, plenty of food, plenty of support, plenty of encouraging words, and God standing on our side during this COVID-19 season.
Wow. So, hey, I want you guys to really check him out and get some money to him, because the main thing about this is all this stuff takes money. I don't care about grants, whatever it is. Right now, it's about getting it to the people. And so how can people donate to your organization? How can people get involved in your mission? Can you tell them?
Absolutely, sir. Right now, because of COVID, the only need wasn't food. Food is a main critical grocery needs. It's definitely essential to keep our families healthy. But through this, we do nothing great alone. Together is where we do excellent, great things. So we've been able to partner with a great organization called City Youth Matrix, Executive Director Aaron Vetter, and he has this great ambition of, it's called School Buckets. Inside of the School Buckets is art, STEM, physical education activity to keep our kids engaged during this crisis, to keep our families engaged during this crisis. So the hope is there's over 15,000 Alice kids struggling below the poverty rate in our county. The hope is to get the I Believe in Me kids and the 15,000 kids that have nothing to do, can't log into their internet for school, don't have a computer at home. Let's keep them engaged. Let's keep them learning even through the crisis. So there's plenty of ways this wonderful community can continue to help us. We have a website for COVID-19. Our website is IBelieveInMe.com. We have Facebook page, City Youth Matrix, I Believe in Me, Inc. All support is welcome and appreciated, and assured that it will go right back into the community and help our people during this tough time.
All right. And so, I'm glad you guys were able to, come and log in. I know some of you guys log in later on the night, but I want you guys to reach out to this young man and support his mission, because if you look on the Facebooks, you look on any of the social media, everything about it is about the kids. It's about uplifting the kids. It's about, trying to change the mindsets of the community around us. So the last thing I want to ask you is who are you and where do you think you're going to end up at the end of this? Like at the end of everything, beyond the kids, beyond all of that, where do you want to be in life? What's your goal?
Hey, bro, you gonna have that radio station soon, bro, because you got some mean questions. And the greatest thing about it is you don't even give your patrons a chance to prepare for the questions. You don't even offer them out. So that radio station coming, man. But me personally, right, man, like you, man, as a leader, man, you never judge by standing on the top alone. You judge by who you throw the ladder down and bring to the top with you. So I'm trying to get my guys in a position where they can make an impact in this community as well. Because at one point in life, bro, we meet this thing that we can't match up with, and it's called death. And for me, when all that dirt goes on top of that box, man, the way the name lives on is called a legacy. So this I Believe in Me mission, helping kids in 2050, 2070, when I'm no longer here, I'm dead and gone, and the legacy lives on. That's what it's about to be, bro. Being able to maintain and still be here after I'm gone, man. And that's what we call a legacy.
What he's ultimately saying, man, there's a mentality, and I call it the gorilla mentality. And what the gorilla mentality is if you take a set of blocks and you put it in with one gorilla and you teach him how to set up these blocks into making a design, You can literally take that same set of blocks and put that gorilla in with 5 other gorillas. You leave for a day and come back, every one of those gorillas will be able to stack those blocks. And I think that's what you're talking about when it talks about legacy. It's literally, it's not just giving people the blocks, but it's just knowing that they will be able to teach everyone else that they meet. And then if they teach everyone else that they meet, the circle gets so big that our touch then becomes a viral touch. It's almost like the corona. It just keeps going from person to person. And that's what we want this to be. We want love. We want care. We want just dedication and not judging. We want that to go viral so that we can get away from the stigma of saying once you've been into jail or prison, you're done. Or once you're headed that direction, we're going to give up on you. We want this to be where we are giving everything that we have and we're loving these people as much as we possibly can, because where there is one person that cares, a person can change. Like you can literally change a person's life by one person that cares. And so I think that's you for a lot of people. So keep going. Don't let anybody tell you to stop, and you go out there and you change some lives. And if you ever need my help, you got my number, call me up, and I promise we'll be there to support you. You got me?
I appreciate you, big bro. Appreciate all you do, and thanks for your time interviewing me on your Sharp podcast, man. I'm looking forward to that FM radio station once we come out of COVID, man.
Hey, guys, thank you guys. It's the Cadillac Counselor, David Brooks, Aje Hill. We were just sitting back talking about what's really going on in the world. And if you got any questions, leave some feedback. And if you go to YouTube, subscribe and throw some comments. Tell me good or bad. I don't care what it is, but just give back to the community. All right. Love you guys. Have a good day. See you tomorrow at noon.